I'm Jerry Jost. I'm the director of the Kansas Land Trust, and I'm here with Scott Thelman, who's also on the board of the Kansas Land Trust, but also a farmer and a landowner. And we're going to go through a little exercise about how one might do a voluntary conservation easement by using what Scott is holding here, and that is a bundle of sticks. He's a property owner. He owns this particular farm, and with that ownership comes a bunch of rights that he holds. A conservation easement would actually divide some of those rights between the ones that he continues to hold and those rights we, as a Kansas Land Trust, hold, which become restrictions on future land uses. So we're going to work through this bundle of sticks and kind of illustrate how a conservation might work between a landowner and a land trust, such as the Kansas Land Trust.
Remodeling an existing house.
Okay, so there is a home on this farmstead, and he would want to retain that right to remodel that house. So that's a right you retain, you keep.
Subdivision.
A subdivision means separating the property, and in most cases the Kansas Land Trust holds this right, and it becomes a restriction on the future land uses of the property.
Non-ag commercial use.
This is a restriction that the Kansas Land Trust would place on this farm because it's an agricultural farm and we want to keep it as an agricultural farm. So we would hold this stick.
Farming.
He wants to, Scott wants to retain farming rights, so that's a stick you keep.
Prescribed burning.
If he did have a prairie on his property, he would want the right to burn it to maintain the quality of grass. So that's a right you retain, Scott.
Ag building site.
We are in an agricultural building site, so he wants to maintain the right to have buildings that support his farming operation. You keep that one.
Ag vehicle use.
We're right here with an agricultural vehicle. He wants the right to use that, so that's a right you retain.
Building ag fence.
He can build fences if he has livestock, so that's a right you retain, Scott.
Hunting stands.
He's allowed to hunt and put stands up where he wants to. They're not permanent, so that's a right you keep.
Owner liability.
That's a right that you, and a responsibility that you retain, Scott, because you're liable for what happens on the farm.
Plowing of the prairie.
If Scott had a prairie, he could not plow it. It's an important reason why we exist. And so this is a restriction we put on the land.
Grazing.
And he could graze the property, so that you keep that, Scott.
Livestock watering systems.
If Scott had a livestock, he needs the ability to water them, so that's a right you retain.
Horticultural hoop houses.
Scott does have a horticultural hoop house, a high tunnel. He can do that, and so you retain that right.
And selling the property.
And that is important for him to retain, because you may sell the property in the future. But this separation of rights and restrictions run with the land in perpetuity. So if we both come to agreement about this conservation easement, we would agree to the terms of the separation of these sticks, and this becomes recorded in a deed of conservation easement that's recorded in the county courthouse. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Jerry.
Bye-bye.